Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racers Driving League for round number 7 of season 15. Welcome to the historic, the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix here at the Circuit de Monte Carlo. Thought it should be an absolutely fantastic evening of racing, or as fantastic as it can be given that it is Monaco. I am your host, RC, once again alone, unfortunately, bringing you through all the action for the racing this evening, and hopefully we should be in for a very, very exciting Grand Prix indeed. Again, as exciting as it can be, given that it is Monaco. So I hope you're looking forward to the action here tonight. Unfortunately, once again, we are without Pope, who is driving in the Haas tonight. He reserved last week for Aston Martin at Imola. Now he's with the Haas team. And hopefully, we'll be seeing him back in the commentary box in a week or two. Once August comes to an end, we'll get some more drivers in. And hopefully he'll be back as soon as possible. I wanted to get him into the... into this one for so bad because we're teaching the pressures and the struggle of Monaco commentary in league racing, but unfortunately we'll have to wait another season for that to hopefully happen. Hopefully we'll get to see him perhaps later on, because he's good at Monaco, so it could be a good race for him. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll go further through the championship and things like that going into tonight's race in a few minutes time, but first we'll keep an eye on our McLaren of PJ Khaled, who's going through for his first final lap and the first final lap of the session for anyone. So we're right on board with him here as he comes off the last corner to start that Monaco qualifying run here under the lights, and it's underway. Short run up the hill towards turn 1 into this corner. There goes. Nice exit. Makes its way up the hill. And into the left-hander he comes. Long sweeping turn 4 into a very, very tight right-hander. Coming to the end of that first sector into the split he comes. 18.558 into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Very nice, keeping it away from the curb on entry, keeping off it completely, and going right back onto him for the next couple of right-handers, making his way into the famous tunnel. Hear the echo reverberating around the tunnel as he charges on his way out and down towards the chicane. Let's get this absolutely perfect here. He's nailed it completely. This could be a major point of talking in terms of track limits. Coming towards the second sector split. 52.2 and into the swimming pool section he comes now. Final sector for PJ Khaled on his way through here. Into the last two corners. Slows the game through Raskas, and off the last corner he comes now. And over the line for the first lap of the session, 1 minute 10.6. Next car through to the line is rookie Jensen 7671 making his debut tonight. Curtis goes in second. And TJ into 4th place. Now TJ sits 8 points back from Sniper Hunter in the Drivers' Championship. As Pope goes fastest by quite a margin there. 8 tenths. Brilliant lap then. Ethan goes 6th fastest. But a good start to qualifying. TJ down the order here with a lot of work to do in order to get himself further up said order. So looking at the Drivers' Championship then. Sniper Hunter leads the way by 8 points over TJ. Curtis sits there in 3rd. He scored more points in the opening 2 rounds than he did for the whole of last season, which is a definite improvement. This game has really been brilliant for him so far, for the whole Alfa Romeo team, as they lead the Constructors' Championship over Alpine right now. Mercedes in 3rd, and Fan sits in 4th place in the Drivers' Championship. Grimio in 5th, again not with us this week. We have Landlord in the car, who of course did well when he made his return in Miami a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately we weren't there for that. But of course, I heard the news and it was good to hear. And I believe we should be getting in Sniper Hunter in a matter of minutes here. We'll definitely have enough time to get a lap in, which is positive. Here comes Landlord then. He's been very good at Monaco in the past. Off the final corner comes. We'll see how good he is at Monaco on this game. Towards the line, goes 2nd fastest. Very good lap. Webbsy there in 3rd. 40 points back in the championship hunt. He's had a very good start to the season. Took the win in Azerbaijan 3 weeks ago now. Looking forward to perhaps improving and getting another win here tonight if he can. If something was to go wrong, I'm thinking, based on past experience and how they've performed in their first lap so far, can't say anything yet, but it does appear that Pope and Landlord are the ones to beat tonight. So we'll see if anyone can match them. And we'll see how many Sniper Hunter takes the circuit. Join the session now. Lucky Lambert there in 5th place. Normally does quite well here. Curtis there in 6th now. Jensen 7th. Ethan on his back up for a second run now. So in 8th place. TJ 9th and Fergie time in 10th. As BJ retires from the session here. He's out at the chicane. If Van gets 10 time, he'll have to get a quick look at what's gone on for him. And there he is. Oh, he's very lucky that he despawned in time because he'd crashed it right in the middle of the chicane and Fan would have run smack into him. Fan 1.8 seconds up on his previous effort. Needs to improve a lot here in this final sector. Very nearly put that Mercedes in the wall there. Off the final corner he comes. We'll see what it looks like when he comes towards the line. Okay, 1 minute 10. P4 for him. Not bad at all. Cheese in 2nd place. Smoking Cheese making his return in the Red Bull tonight. Return or debut. I could be right or wrong because I'm not sure if Cheese has raced here before. Of course, those of you who have been around the channel for a while, 2-time Takeover Racing League champion. Still holds the record in that division. Looking to bring his talents over to the RDL for tonight's race. A number of good cars who've got a solid chance of victory, but in the past we've seen this race typically comes down to strategy an awful lot. More commonly we've seen someone go for perhaps a 2-stop and perhaps try to chase the race leader down towards the end of the race, but haven't quite been able to do it. If my memory serves me correctly from F1 2021, I've seen Pope go to chase or two. As Cheese goes fastest now. Brilliant lap. Puts himself on top by about just under 3/10. And Pope out on the racetrack here, probably pitting this, most likely pitting this time. Landlord back out onto the racetrack. And number 5, Alpine. So 1 car out of qualifying, and that's BJ. Crashed it on his banker lap. So he starts dead last of the race, short of a disqualification or someone else not setting a time. So far, we've got 4 more drivers left on the circuit who are yet to set laps. So Courtney Goblin is in the pit. Sniper Hunter is on his out lap here, his first lap of the session. Evil Scotsman is on his way through to complete his first flying lap, and JB is just starting said flying lap. There goes the throw over the line. We'll see what Scotsman can pull out here. 52.8 in this final sector. Minute 11 puts him P11 on the grid. So a solid effort then from Evil Scotsman. Puts himself P11. Just outside of the top 10. And speaking of 10th, here comes Jensen for his second run. Had to wait here to get the Alfa Romeos and the cars behind through. Both of them are out of laps right now. I think they've all just come out the pit lane. Which is lucky. Wouldn't want to hold natural effort. And here comes Sniper Hunter. We'll look to see where he lines up in the field. Final check of his tyres, where he goes around to start what could be the all-crucial lap. 9 minutes to go, still plenty of time for 2 or perhaps even 3 more laps. So we'll see what the strategy looks like for everyone in terms of qualifying runs. So Sniper Hunter now underway. Solid start of the lap through turn 1, up the hill he goes. His teammate for tonight in P3 right now, so his benchmark will be that, or at the very least looking to try and beat TJ, who's in P12 right now. The first split will be an 18.4. As JB goes up to 12th place in the running order, so puts TJ down to 13th. Out of the hairpin, down towards the tunnel once again. And through he goes. Okay, a lot of speed towards the chicane there. Down into 3rd gear. Through the chicane and on the exit. Very close to that left-hand wall. And now heading towards the final split. 52.3 is best effort now. Away from the swimming pool. Good run through the chicane. Very fast run through the chicane. Lucky to hold on to it. I see a Ferrari just there in front. That'll be Lucky Lambert. And here comes Sniper now through the last couple of corners to complete his first final lap. We'll see what he has in store. Minute 10.8. Only enough for 10th place. In terms of the championship chasers, Curtis is running the highest of them so far, in 7th place. If he was to win the race in this position and have both Sniper Hunter and TJ fail to score, he'd take the lead of the championship. Which would definitely be big news. But he's got 4 cars to contend with, perhaps even 5, in terms of that win today. As Fan comes through to start his next flying run. Yellow flag off the last corner as car coming into the pit lane. Curtis over the line, does not improve. Stays 7th fastest. Yellow flag behind, that's one of the AlphaTauris going slow. That is the AlphaTauri of Fergie time. Not a brilliant season for AlphaTauri so far. 8th place to the Constructors' Championship. We've got some work to do. Of course, AlphaTauri won last time out with Che012. Or Che012 rather, Che Oliver as we have formerly known him. He happens to be around for the night and reserved for the team that he was meant to make his full-time appearance with this season. And went on and took the win. But of course, as he reserved, the points did not count. 6 minutes to go. Top 2 in the pits right now, separating not by much. 579 to 785 in terms of gaps. So about a 10th in there. Maybe just under 2. But Pope's a 10th up. So a good start to the lap. He needs about 3 or 4 tenths overall. As Jensen goes P6 here, very good lap. 1 minute 10.3. A lucky Lambert crashes the car. He's out qualifying there at the exit of the chicane. I wouldn't think we'd be able to see him in time. And Pope's invalidated his lap there. And we'll see how far up he was when he comes through the end of the second sector. He was the 3 tenths up that he needed. He's got time, so he can go again, but that must be gutting for him. See Cheese and Landlord both come back out onto the racetrack now. Pope on his way in. Disappointing there for Pope to not get a chance to finish that lap off. So Cheese will be out there first. Oh, sorry, Lano will be out there first, then Cheese. Both Pope and Fan in the pit. Jensen clearing himself. Websy in the pit lane. PJ also in the pit lane. Curtis is on the track, but invalidated his last run, so this could be it for him. Yes, it is. Snap Hunter now back out onto the racetrack. TJ towards the line. Improved up to P11. So just in front of Sniper. See what these two have in store. Here comes JB now to start his second flying lap. Up the hill he goes there. Nearing 170 miles an hour. He's hit the wall there. And that could be his lap over before he's even begun in the Ferrari. So I dare say he may save the RS and try and go again next time round. Meanwhile, Cheese and Landon both started their laps. Can either one of them improve? We'll keep an eye on Landon first. He's further along the track. Pope back out onto the circuit again on his outlap now. Just in between these two cars. Landlord keeps the lap valid here. Yellow flag in the swimming pool section. That's when the Alfa Romeo is going slow, and that is Pope who's lost it. Good thing he's on his outlap. Not sure if he's damaged the car or not. Landlord down on his last effort, but I dare say Cheese might have a good shot. Might he be able to improve here? We'll see when he comes over the line. Trying to put pole position even further out of reach. He doesn't quite do it. He's a 10th down. Pope towards the line now to start what could be one of his last few runs. He's got 2.5 minutes left to go. from the long to receive drivers into the pit lane, but on a fresh set of tyres and go for it again. Pope's first sector, he improves. Just got a bit more to do. That 3/10 he gained within 2 sectors on the lap we saw earlier on from him. Again, might be costing him now, because that lap might have been good enough to put him on pole position, if not the front row. Or the other way around, rather, the front row, if not pole position. Into the chicane, looking to try and actually make it work this time. And he does. Good exit. He's slowing up. That lap is over. Is he going to go for another run on these softs? Cheese goes fastest. 1 minute 9.405. Landlord on another lap. Sniper Hunter in 5th place in his last effort. We'll see what his second sector exit looks like. He's a 10th up. Not enough to improve any places right now, but needs a good last sector. Out of Raskas. It's looking like a good lap right now. Could it be in the 1 minute 9s? Improves just, but stays in P5. Less than a minute to go now. Fan out on the racetrack. A lot of drivers out there right now. Ethan into the pit lane is qualifying over now. PJ into turn 1. Here comes Curtis towards the line here. Has not improved on this lap, but will have one more chance. P11 right now. His teammate alongside him, P12. And he's looking good for Sniper Hunter now. On a circuit where qualifying is crucial. And Landlord retiring from the session. He's out. I dare say he's done. And Kurt's out too. And Pope goes fastest. He's taken it at the death here. Cheese in the pits. Landlord out of the qualifying. And now Pope on pole with the last few seconds to spare. The checker flag's now fallen. Wait to see now who... Has anyone got what it takes to match Pope and take pole? PJ Callaghan in the last corner here, trying to improve if he can. 1 minute 10.6 his best effort towards the line. Doesn't improve, stays P11. Car behind him, that's Sniper Hunter. Oh, Sniper losing it, almost losing it on the exit. He's been the lap off. Webbsy goes 5th. See a Ferrari control. That is JB at the last corner. 15th right now. Can he put inside the top 10 at the end of qualifying? P12 for him at the end of it. TJ 1.3 seconds down, but he's invalidated. So qualifying over for him. And that may settle it. Fans on the lap though. It's going to take something big from him now to try and finish this one off. He won't do it. Stays P4, which means that Pope is short of Cockney Goblin, snatching it at the death, which won't happen. And Fergie not taking it. Jack and Flag's out. So Pope is on pole for the Monaco Grand Prix of season 15. And Cheese will share the front row with him. We have a very exciting racing prospect on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. Pope, Cheese, Landlord, Fan and Webbsy are top 5. And Sniper Hunter, Lucky, Jensen, Courtney and Ethan. PJ, JB, Curtis, TJ, Evil, Fergie and the crashed BJ will emerge as your... That will emerge back on the grid. And that's your starting order for the race tonight. So that is quali then. And we should be back here with you in time to start the race in a few minutes. One more look at your top 10. Pope from Cheese, then Landlord, Fan and Webbsy your top 5. Sniper, Lucky, Jensen, Courtney and Ethan round at your top 10. So don't go anywhere. This could be an absolutely classic Monaco Grand Prix. Back with you in a few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Monaco Grand Prix, round number 7 of season 15. Looking forward to what should be a very exciting Grand Prix. A moment away from getting underway. Qualifying was absolutely brilliant. And we are set for what should be a very exciting race tonight with our very own, from the commentary box back to the racetrack, Pope on the pole for tonight's race. Alongside him, former Takeover Racing League champion Smoking Cheese, bringing his talents over to the RDL. Formation that will be underway in just a moment. Here we go then. Just waiting to get underway. Brief connection issue for Sniper Hunter. Having problems with another glitch in the many this game has to offer. But I think the issue is sorted now. We're getting to get underway for the formation lap. We get a good idea in terms of strategy, because it's always been a difficult one to play in terms of strategy compared to the cars around you. We'll see if everyone can survive the first lap or so. As Pope leads the way, followed closely by Cheese and then Landlord. And there it is, Cheese starting on the soft tyres, Fan on the hards. It's quite an even distribution in terms of tyres today. The soft tyre, obviously, the less taken choice in terms of who's on it. 17 cars in the field tonight. 4 of them started on soft, so looking to go for a shorter first stint. Evil, Fergie, and BJ looking to make up some places. Hopefully in that first stint. And there is Pope leading us around then. And there's your possible race strategies. Largely looking at a one-stop for the majority of drivers today, especially those ones that started on the mediums and the hards. Looking just to change to whichever one they didn't start on and then finishing the race from there. So they are then lining up on the grid. Pope, Cheese, Landlord, Fan, Websy, or top 5. 17 cars in the running tonight. And there is the Mercedes of BJ lining up at the very back alongside Fergie time. 39 laps of your intense racing, with the barriers just a few millimetres away, await us here for the next 40 minutes or so here in Monaco. And here we go. The lights are on. And they are out, foot to the floor, and we are underway here in Monte Carlo. Cheese with a great getaway. They're side by side towards turn 1. Cheese does on the outside, into the lead at the first corner. Pope in second, Landlord down in third. Fan hit the wall there. Webster can try and come back at him now on the right hand side. They got up the hill. Everyone getting very, very dicey in these first couple of corners. Cheese leads away there from Pope, and then Landlord in third. Everyone singling out very nicely indeed here. All single file in the field. As the first of these 39 laps gets underway, the top 3 broke away a little bit there by a couple of tenths compared to the rest of the field. And Cheese looking to pull out DRS range already. He's almost a second clear. Yellow flag in the hairpin. And that is just slow cars all together at once. Cheese out to a 1 second lead. Yellow flag. That's Ethan out of the race. And the virtual safety car gets deployed. Well, an early retiree there. Didn't quite catch what happened to him. So unfortunately he's out this early on. But Ethan then out. VSC deployed. We're down to 16 cars just like that. 6 more retirees, and everyone who finishes the race from there will score points, provided they make it to the 90% distance. And Cheese has played this. I'm sure it's hoping to go a bit further on those soft tyres. Green flag now back out. Pope leads the way now from Landlord and Fan. Webb's into 4th, Sniper Hunter now 5th. So Cheese onto a set of medium tyres now. And we now have a bit of work to do here. We saw how good he was in qualifying, and we've seen how good he is on the opening lap as well. So he's very quick around here. Evil Scotsman also in front wing change. He may have had some kind of contact with Ethan, but we don't know for sure. So we obviously won't accuse him of anything he hasn't done, which would be obviously wrong of us. So Evil now medium tyres on that Aston Martin. He's away. Pope now leads them from Landlord in 2nd place and Fan in 3rd. 1 lap away from deploying DRS for the first time in this race. Only activation point sitting on the main straight. It's the only straight really long enough to give a chance for DRS. You have to be right on the car in front's tail going out that final corner. Top two pulling away here. Fan now second and a half back from Landlord. Websy in his wake there in the Williams. Trying to put himself on the podium once again, hoping something goes wrong for the cars in front. Pope has got Landlord sticking right with him here. They come off the last corner. About 7, 8 tenths separating them. Pope leads lap 2. Sets the fastest lap once again. Several cars in the pit lane here. Sniper Hunter is in. The Sniper Hunter's out of the session. He's out of the race. He's calling it there. And Jensen's in as well. So the championship leader then out of the race this early on. What has happened to him? Well, this is all of a sudden a big opportunity for Mr. TJ and for Curtis and Fan, who's in good position right now. He's 31 points back in the championship. Right now, that could be 16 if he does. If things stay how they are. He knows now big points could be on the line, given that the majority of contenders now further down the order. Curtis, the highest ranking of that top 3 in the championship, in 8th place right now. Sniper Hunter out this early on. Very frustrating. Yellow flag there as his ghost remains on the racetrack, but should pull over at some point and then chuck it in from there. As Evil Scotsman gets around him. So 2 cars out now. Cheers looking to pass Fergie time. Still sits no soft tyres in the first lap. BJ now into 10th place. He's done a fantastic job this early on of keeping out of trouble and making up places. He's just behind JB there in the race for 9th. As Pope again sets the fastest lap. And I thought we almost lost it at the last corner. TJ closing, trying to use the DRS to his advantage. It's a little bit closer, but needs those points right now. If he can finish inside the top 5, he'll take the championship lead for himself. And we are definitely seeing a number of contenders this season who we're not used to at all seeing up front on F1 22. But on F1 23, they've really come alive. And that's what you do. That's what I do enjoy about the transition between games. Is that in some cases you see new faces rise to the top. New faces can just handle the game better. Pope pulling away here. Lando making mistakes, and Pope now out of DRS range completely. The gap he's pulled already now, 1.7 seconds, and 1.9 to Fan in 3rd place. He's still got Websy breathing down his neck. Lucky Lambert in a world of his own right now in 5th place, doing a great job. 10 points going his way if things carry on. Pope setting the fastest lap once again. That's a bonus point if he can finish inside the top 10 and hold it at the end of the Grand Prix. PJ closing on Courtney Goblin, who's into 6th place now. I'll give you a position change from the start of this race so far. The biggest gainer so far has been BJ, without doubt. 7 places gained. Cheese has lost the most, but he's coming back now. He's into P12. Gap's the leader right now, 18.5 seconds. He's doing very well so far, despite having to make that stop on the first lap. But he's got his mandatory tyre change out of the way. No chance of him getting the hard tyres to 38 laps. She's now following this little pack here. As there goes BJ to the inside of Curtis. Side by side. Into the tunnel they go. Oh, a bit of contact there. And BJ's last on the brakes into the corner. And TJ's behind Curtis now. He's got cheese all over him. TJ now being let through by Curtis. Good team playing. It keeps Cheese behind as well. It also allows BJ away by 1.1 seconds. Which keeps TJ out of DRS range, but Cheese is all over Curtis. And Curtis into the pit lane now. So bidding off those hard tyres very early on this race. I think a wing change is being made. It is. Medium tyres going on. So made his mandatory stop, and he's away. Fergie time's in for Aston Martin. AlphaTauri, apologies. Medium tyres also go on that car. So Cheese now almost back inside the points completely here. up to 11th, given that he was in P16 just 5 laps ago. So it's more like getting to place a lap. Pope continues to gain time here. He's 2.3 seconds in front of Landlord and then Fan in third. There's still Websy right behind him, who's not willing to give in at all. And I dare say Fan will get a moment to breathe until Websy comes into the pit lane for his first stop. TJ just put himself within DRS range of BJ. I think he's just done it there. So we'll get to close a bit more now on the Mercedes. It won't help Cheese's case. Lap number 7 now. 22 laps to go. Still a long way to go. And Lalo looks trying to start close the gap on Pope if he can. That could be a task easier said than done. We know how good Pope is around Monaco. Websy still not giving Fan a moment's peace. Keeping himself within DRS range. That's the crucial thing right now. And keep up with the lead 4. Lap 8. Pope with a 2.5 second advance. Now makes that 2.6. And Cheese and TJ both closing in on BJ now. See how much the Alpha Male can close in this time. He's not closing at all here. In fact, Chase is getting closer to him than he is to BJ. And JB still sitting now in 8th place. 10th place in the Drivers' Championship as it stands. He'll only be a few points in front of his teammate Lucky Lambo, things to say how they are. Curtis passing Jensen into the pit lane here. Front wing change to the AlphaTauri. And medium tyres now going on. Jensen down to 15th place now. Yellow flag. And that is just him going slowly. He crossed over the yellow line on re-entry. May get a warning of some kind or a penalty, or it may have avoided the penalty. He's got a warning at least, I think. Websy is staying close. That gap was 8/10, it's now down to 7. He's doing good right now. Well, the race for the lead then is sort of pit-pattered out towards the end, or towards near the end of the first quarter of this race. And Pope leads by 2.6 seconds. Websy for the first time in quite a while now out of DRS range to Fan. Into the last couple of corners they come. For the first time in a couple of laps, Websy with no DRS. He's 1.7 seconds back. Almost 2 seconds now from Fans to go off the last corner. Those medium tyres perhaps starting to hit their stride now. They've definitely had better days. BJ. He's got Smoke and Cheese right behind him. BJ up into the pit lane here. His first stint over. The last car on the soft tyres coming in. And say his team making the change. Hard tyres now on the car. It'd be a madman to try and take those 29 laps. Back out onto the racetrack. Majority of cars on medium tyres. Have a look and see who's made their stops so far. Still waiting for 9 drivers to come in. Those drivers being the top 8, plus TJ in 10th. Websy really falling back from a fan now. The gap now almost 3 seconds. And Cheese for the first time in quite a while back into the points paying places. And Webb's into the pits. Calling an end to his first run. In comes the Williams, making the change now. Front wing change as well. As well as a set of hard tyres. Back out onto the racetrack here, running P10. So in front of BJ, but quite away. And wait to see when the leaders choose to come in for their first stops this race. Into Raskas, Pope stays out. Landlord also staying out. Family expecting to go a bit further into the race here. Fan there in third place. The lack of Webster chasing him in a world of his own right now. There's PJ in 6th place. He's got several cars gaining on him here. Cheese now right on the back of JB. Using his back, trying to close in here. Can't get too aggressive. It is Monaco. One mistake to put both cars out of the race. And there's when the AlphaTauri is going slowly there. Just waiting for the DRS trick to come back round. PJ will be in for a world of terror here when it comes down the main straight, because JB and Cheese are both have DRS and you'll have nothing. Cotty Goblin in 5th place right now is a full 2 seconds up the road. Landlord try to close that gap down here. Yellow flag. It's one of the AlphaTauri going slowly still. Pope into sector 2 now. Seeing who is where on that. Everyone quite spaced out in the racetrack here. The closest fight being these 3 in the race for P6. Cheese looking to try and looking all over the track, trying to find some kind of opening. And this train will allow TJ to try and close in. He needs more points right now. He needs P5 as it stands in order to swipe the championship lead, or he can take yellow flag. 30 times out the race. Had a crash there at the exit. We're at the entry of the hairpin. And where is Curtis? There he is, and we've just missed him. Cleared out the rain, no safety car required. Just a virtual safety car from earlier on. Again, the fight rages on here. Cheese. Look at the outside an awful lot. But no luck for him here. Still waiting in line. How much time is he losing to the leaders right now? The gap sits at 30 seconds. That was a much smaller gap around 8 laps ago when he was chasing through the field. Pope and Lando have really got away from Fan here. They're at 8 seconds in the clear. Lucky Lambert a further 11 back. 6 back to Cotney Goblin and then just 2 back to this little train. And TJ also closing the gap on them too. And we'll see if anyone gets the guts to go for a move. We are reaching the point here where the top 8 we could be seeing them come into the pit lane. Pope and Analog both staying out. I assume Fan stays out too. These guys are trying to go as long as the race as they can without burning their needing to pit, and try and manage them as far as they can to make that one stop work, regardless of what tyre they switch onto. Pope and Analog can probably go a bit shorter than Fan needs to on those medium tyres. The hards will get to the end by about lap 19, lap 18. JB all over PJ, but won't go for it just yet. And these guys closing in quite rapidly on Cockney Goblin here. Cheese trying to avoid falling away. Websy now right in the back of TJ. Websy, of course, has made his first stop of the race. He sits 34 seconds off the lead, but he's going to go for it to the inside of TJ now. Thinks better of it. It's still sort of alongside when they come through. Into the hairpin they go. TJ stays well in front on the exit. PJ trying to stay in front of the cars behind him, but also trying to close on Cockney Goblin in the Williams. And Evil Scotsman out of the race. And the virtual safety car is brought out once again. I dare say Lucky Lambo could have a chance here to try and pit. Just stay out though. A bit too early for that. They would want it a couple of laps later. Everyone gets a chance to sort of relax for a minute. Pope with about 3-second lead over Landlord right now. Cockney Goblin, PJ, Cheese and Webbs and TJ all in the pit lane here. DRS redeployed, the race is back on. Wing change for PJ. Tyre change for TJ. Cheese gets out in front. BJ up into P7 now. Cheese first out of all these cars. JB stayed out. Well, Cockney Goblin and PJ Calendar hugely lost out here. And Cockney Goblin can try and swap spot. If he can, sorry, that is Curtis. Jump right back in, he's now in P9. Does he try and take Cheese or does he choose to let his teammate through? Curtis has to remember he's also trying to fight to race for a Drivers' Championship to keep both Alfa Romeos in the title fight. It won't be the first time we've seen teammates go head to head for the title. Think back to the Blaze Landlord pairing for several seasons in a row. That pairing only been off the grid for 7 races since the last time we saw them together, which would have been the reverse grid finale last season. Only 7 races into this season. Jensen with a time penalty. That's the first one of the night. We've got almost half the race, that one, which is always positive. Pope again, 2.7 seconds in front. That gap has more or less stayed stagnant since in the last 5 laps or so. Websy right behind JB now, within a second of him. Now, assuming here that once Lucky Lambert pits, Websy should emerge in front, which will put him back in P4, but quite a way back from Fan here, I think. About 22 seconds separating the pair of them right now. In order to avoid that going up anymore, Websy needs to pass JB. And Landon into the pit lane here. One of the 2 race leaders into the pits. Onto the hard tyres, get to the end now. Pope, what will he choose to do? As Fan takes away second place. There's the AlphaTauri of Jensen. Side by side with Landon on the exit. Gets in front. Landon either rely on blue flags and tries to dispose of him quick. There he goes. So Landlord now in 3rd place once again. And should take second back from Fan with ease here. But Landlord trying to gain those crucial few tenths that he can use to try and get in front of Pope. And he comes. This is it. This is the race. Now Lando, he's already got around the AlphaTauri. Pope is in. I dare say his chances are going to emerge in front of Lando. It's going to be very close here. Pope already going again. Fan is trying to take the lead. Let's take the net race lead for the moment. And there he is. Pope back out onto the racetrack again. See Lando just emerging on the very right hand side of your picture. Landlord's gained time. He's on a lap fresher. He's on a lap less fresh tyres than Pope's. And Fan yet to pit. So does Pope catch Fan? Websy passing. Sorry, BJ passing Websy into the pit lane here. In for a second stop. This looks like wing damage this time. It is wing damage. No wing on that car at all. Williams' team making a change then. Down to P10. And now P12 for Websy as he emerges from his second stop. Hopefully for him that'll be the last one of the race. So Jensen's tapping the wall there. Landlord's closed a lot of that gap so far. He appears a lot faster on the hard tyres than Pope does. Had the extra lap to get him rubbing in, and now he's on the warpath. Halfway through this one. 20 laps to go. BJ there in 6th place. He's got Cheese bearing down on him right now. In terms of stops here, we'll see what the gap looks like. 3 cars yet to make their stops. Have a look at it. As of right now, Cheese sits 28 seconds behind the leader. Monaco has a very short pit lane. See Cheese right on the back of BJ. Will he go for it into the corner, into the chicane? He's going for it. Out breaks BJ into P6 now. As Fan loses the lead to Pope. There's a pit stop in front. And the close that gap down to 1.5 seconds. And the DRS off of Fan will help him close on Pope. We could still be in for an entertaining race towards the end of this one for the race win. Fan moving over here to allow Landlord through to try and work on closing Pope's lead. They get that back up to 2 seconds. Does he know that Landlord's done that? Three cars just make their first stops this race. Fan and both Ferraris. Oh, no, now Fan is back down in 3rd place to make a stop. Trying to go as long as he can on those hard tyres. Jensen's pit lane now. Wind change and change a set of soft tyres now in order. He's away. Lucky Lambert now into the pit lane. Good action going on behind these guys. As Curtis holds off Websy and PJ Khaled here in the Williams and McLaren. Lucky Lambert merging in the pit lane here. TJ now into P7. He needs 2 more places in order to take that championship lead. Can make it one of them off of BJ. Excuse me, from JB, sorry. And Curtis out of the race. He's crashed at the last corner. The safety car's deployed. Well, well, that brings the pack all together now. And Curtis out of the Grand Prix here, down to 12 more cars. And Lando with a drive-through for speeding under the safety car, which I kind of think he can serve now. Fan is in too. But that'll be the end of Landlord's race, more or less, in terms of the hunt for the win. And that'll move Fan to second place. Fan's only won 2 races this season. Once in Bahrain and once in Miami. One of just 2 repeat winners this season. Smoke and cheese with the penalty as well. Some of these guys getting caught as they come into the pit lane. BJ in. JB also in. Medium tyres going on all of these cars. TJ's in, medium tyres. Got to be going in, also presumably medium tyres. A lot of these guys have made their stops already, so they can go into whatever tyre they want to. Websy stays out in an attempt to try and gain a few more space to track position. TJ then needs 3 more spots. And he could get a few, you got to get 2 of them here. With these drive-throughs. And Websy comes out just behind TJ. And Pope's got it made at this point now. The driver's been chasing him throughout the race. Now with a drive-through penalty. Fan there in 3rd. We wait now for the field to form up. So let's say down to 12 more cars in this race. Well, about 13 more laps to go or so. Let me get back to racing. So Pope, then Landlord and Fan. That's your top 3. Pope's in the pit lane there. Soft tyres going on the car. There's 2 cars now on the soft tyres, himself and Jensen. He's got PJ Keller behind him and wait quite a while for Jensen to catch back up. He's within the field of cars here, so just waiting now for the back to catch up. Lap 25 here. 14 more laps to go. Waiting mainly for PJ Cal and Jensen to catch up. I dare assume I have to do one more lap behind the safety car here. Can we get back on the way? That could change. It could be in this time. I have to wait and see. Reach the split, we'll get to find out. Safety car in this lap, right, here we go. So the field's all caught back up now. Pope on the oldest tyres, on those 6-lap hold hards. Everyone else on medium, so the tyres guaranteed to get to the end now, regardless of which ones you're on. Save perhaps those soft tyre runners, which may need another safety car to maintain track position. Pope is in control. He's got to kill this. He's way, but Landlord's there with him. It's crucial to fan that he stays with both these two cars, as Landlord has that drive-through penalty. And BJ with a 3-second penalty for corner cutting there. What was he thinking there? Dropping towards the back of the field here. Landlord staying close to Pope. Not close enough right now to go for a move. It'd be too unwise to go for it here. Cheese back into 5th place here. He's got a penalty too. That same drive-through. 3 seconds both BJ and Jensen. And drive-through for 2 of the fastest cars on the racetrack here. Landlord staying close. I had to serve that penalty at some point. He's not serving just yet. Cheese coming in to serve his. Up him down to P11 here, just outside of the points. He's got a lot of work to do in his closing stages. Pope leads then. Landlord in 2nd. Fan still in 3rd, but out of DRS range to leader. He's got to close back in order to make that happen. We're hoping that Landlord can catch up and try and give him some trouble before he comes into the pits. Here in Monaco, I don't think that'll happen. I think Pope's got this one wrapped up. Ferrari in a very good position right now. Both their cars in 4th and 5th having made their stops. That safety car played absolutely fantastically into their hands. And they're now in control. It's 22 points coming their way right now. Looking at the fastest lap point as of right now, that is going the way. It would have been going the way of Cheese as Landlord comes in. Needs another place for that to happen. DRS enabled. Pope now with a 1.3 second lead over Fan, and Lucky Lambert now in 3rd. JB in 4th. Ferrari could bring on the podium here in these late stages. Does Landlord emerge in front of Cheese, and he might just do it. He will do it. Landlord quite a way ahead. A gamble to pit a lap to make his penalty work a lap later than Cheese has worked to his favour dramatically. Now he's got a point to his name, albeit a reserve point. Eight different constructors right now in the top 10, if my maths is correct. Haas, Mercedes, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Williams, McLaren, and Alpine. So that is 7. Goblin cutting the corner ever so slightly there. Gets away with it. Might have got a warning, but no issues. At least in terms of penalties coming his way. The soft tyres on Websy's car behind. Not quite doing their job so far as PJ's right there with him. DRS now deployed. Webb's into the pit lane here. Change the soft tyres has not paid off at all for the Williams car. And that'll put him outside of the points. Lalo back into P9 now. Purple Sector 3, very impressive. How much time does he's got to close in? Just under 15 seconds for a chance to win this race. Pope is not getting away as much as he might have thought he would. Those hard tyres will last him around 20-22 laps. So they should get into the end, but he may fall off in terms of lap time. And that will definitely help Fan behind him. We'll need to get around Pope before his tyres do the same thing. Which would be a lot earlier, given the fact he's on mediums. They've already done 6 laps. He can definitely take him to the end. It'll be a tough ask. It might come down to between these two cars and who's in the lead when the tyres do inevitably fall off. .4 seconds to the advance. 10 more laps to go. PJ closing, trying to close the gap here on Courtney Goblin. So it's back to the interval time now. Just outside of that DRS range, the 1 second he needs. Fans still about 1.2, 1.3 back on Pope, who's not getting away at all now. Lucky Lambert a further 3 back from Fan. And JB behind him 4th. Holding off a train consisting of TJ, BJ. And Jensen now at the race, retiring in the pit lane. That's the end of it for him. So, what, 11 more cars left in this race. One more retiree. We'll see all the drivers who met to 90% mark score points. As is the rules. So right now, Webb's the only one outside of the points in terms of running cars. And at 31 now, closing in on the finish. Landon sets the fastest up of the race here. That gap's down to 12 to just under 12 seconds now, so it's under 13. So he is closing that gap. I just don't think it'll be enough. We'll see what he can do in the last couple of laps of this race. Keep an eye on Landlord in these closing stages, because I'd say it's not over yet. Speaking of not over yet, Fan is closing the gap on Pope 2. Almost a second between them. Fan just needs those crucial extra hundredths in order to close that gap completely and get DRS. And that'll help him keep up with Pope, who is pulling away. And it's 8 laps away from winning here in Monaco. Landlord not quite closing that gap now. Cheese stuck down there in P10. Landlord closing and goes to the inside of PJ here into turn 1. One of the first few times we've seen a proper overtake all day. Landlord has gone away from PJ just like that. Gap's still 13 seconds, so Landlord's closing, but he's not doing enough in terms of time. Fan is staying with him regardless. He doesn't have DRS, but he's still keeping with him. So where is he faster than Fan? Excuse me, but where is Fan faster than Pope? Not quite in DRS range that time. He needs another 10th or 2 each lap in order to really close that gap, but Fan no doubt putting Pope under pressure. We still have about half the battery left at this stage of the race. A lucky Lambo on course for a podium for Ferrari. TJ right now has the 5th place he needs to take the Drivers' Championship lead by just 2 points. You've got to remember here, no one in the top 3 in the championship has actually won a race so far this season. Which makes it all the more impressive. We've seen wins from Fan, from Grimio, from Websy, and then from Che last week, but we've yet to see one from any of the drivers in the top 3. Just 3-time full-time winners from 6 races. Excuse me. 3 full-time winners from one reserve. It's JB passing Lucky Lambo here. A change from Ferrari, perhaps? What's the plan behind that? Landlord right there with Courtney Goblin now. I thought there was a bit of a lock-up in the offing there, but Landlord is away and up into P7 now. The gap in terms of places is closing. And Fan is within DRS range now of Pope. He is within touching distance. And there's just 6 more laps to go. This race is not over yet. JB getting away here. Lucky Lambert trying to contend with the cars behind in the name of TJ and BJ. The two J's going at it here. Trying to close the gap on Lucky Lambert and then on JB. So Landlord could turn up with a podium here. Of course, former Monaco winner in his own right is Landlord. One back here in season 12 with AlphaTauri. Four-car train here. Who goes for the move first? Who gets closer to go for the move first? Fan back out of DRS range once again. 5 more laps to go for Pope when he crosses the line. Fan has a couple more laps to make something happen. Hope something goes wrong with Pope. JB still in third. He's gotten away from Lucky Lambert here, who again has been tasked with defending the Ferrari points from everyone else. And Landlord's right there with him now. Passing all 3 cars to get up into P4 here. Speaking of P4, TJ closing in. If you look to the outside going to turn 1. Last on the brakes into the corner. Very tight between them. And TJ emerges in front. There goes BJ trying to squeeze through as well. Double whammy for Lucky Lambo. Who drops back 2 places. And that's Landlord right behind him now. It's contact. And Landlord goes through. Lucky Lambo down to P7 now. And the chase begins with TJ to try and run down JB towards the end of this race. Now sits 4 points clear in the Drivers' Championship. Does TJ? This will no doubt help Alfa Romeo to increase their lead in the Constructors. And help Mercedes to close in as well with the 2nd place finish right now. And the 5th for BJ. That should change given the penalty situation. 3 seconds right now. We'll have a look see whereabouts he'd be right now. Around P9 as it stands, maybe even P8, sorry, P10. And now they'll be looking to try and take this place off them. Lucky Lambert into the pit lane here. Courtney Goblin staying out. PJ Cheese also staying out. Lucky's in. A wing change being made here for Ferrari. And he's away. Still holding on crucially, still holding on to that 1 point. Doing a spectacular job at the very end of this race. 3.5 laps to go for Pope. He's got Fan 1.4 seconds behind him. It's still not enough right now. Fan needs to close that gap more than anything else. This medium tyres may have just given all they can. He's just got to get around this circuit for another 3 laps in order to bring home the points at the podium. He'll be gaining 6 points on TJ in the championship right now. 16-point gap between them coming in. That'll now be just 10 points. Fan will find himself 6 points behind Sniper Hunter, which will put him, I believe, 10 behind TJ in the standings, yes. So the championship gap will close up a lot more here thanks to Sniper Hunter's early retirement in this race. But those extra points could do Fan a world of good right now if he can just try. If he can take second in the championship if he wins the race from here. And Landlord's out the race. And Landlord's crashed the car there. A charge that looked like it was going to lead to maybe even a podium finish, if not a 4th place finish at the very end of it. Now sees Landlord retiring with a few laps to go. Pain in this race for both Cheese and Landlord, who got drive-through penalties under the safety car earlier on. and now one of them finds themselves out the Grand Prix, and Websy will now take a point home, regardless. And Pope now sits just 2 laps away with no more to challenge him, save for Fan, who's 2 seconds back now. Pope is 2 laps away from victory once again here at Monaco. And a crucial area for Lando that's in what was a very good race slip away from him. JB's still there in third, but TJ's closing the gap. Trying to extend that championship advantage he's got now. Only by a few points. So they're all still in to play for. We go to the next race of the season, which eludes me at this time. Pope comes through a lap and a half to go. We're looking at next week's race, which will be the Spanish Grand Prix on the 20th of August. Maybe the last race of that Pope at the commentary box. So we're aiming for a potential September return. Ask what happened in this race. Monaco has happened. 7 cars out. 10 of them on course to finish right now as Pope starts his final lap. See a car in the pit lane. That's Websy changing his front wing. He's away. A lap down now. Fan on course for second place here. JB looking for a brilliant third. He's 2 seconds in front of TJ. He's got BJ breathing down his neck. It looks like that the Mercedes driver will still claim P5. So good points for Mercedes today. They could just hold on this final lap. Good point day for Williams too. That 6th place finish would be wonders for them to try and close on Red Bull, who have none of their full-time drivers in the race tonight, just Cheese. Which I will just confirm. Haven't seen Badman in a good few weeks either. Pope into the last couple of corners here, into the closing on the final sector. It's been a brilliant race for him. Since taking the lead from Cheese on the very first lap. Pope took the pole, lost it off the start. That virtual safety car played into his hands. He's led every single second of the race since. Into the final corner, out of Raskas, and out the last corner to sweep towards the line. Former co-commentator's turn, race winner once again. Touch Me Pope wins here in Monaco. Brilliant win in the Principality. Fan comes home in second place, and JB is on course to seal a momentous podium for Ferrari. And here he comes. There's a Tifosi on their feet as JB crosses the line for third. TJ will take the championship lead with a 4th place finish. BJ in 5th in the end. Connie Goblin will finish in 6th after a fantastic race for him. It's been all over the place for him. PJ 7th. Smoke and Cheese in the end comes home for 8th. Websy has finished the race, and Lucky Lambert, the last car through to the line, to finish in P9. But Pope is your winner here, and we'll get to hear from him in a minute or two, as well as hearing from Fan and hopefully from JB as well. Brilliant, brilliant race. Thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Also, thank you for tuning in as well. Given it's been Monaco, we've had pretty good viewers tonight, so we do appreciate that. Of course, you do have to make sure to subscribe for all future RDL races and content, which includes any shorts when we post during the week, and any highlights should we see them. And the podium celebration's about to begin here in what's been an absolutely brilliant race. Another one delivered here in the Principality. And Pope is your winner. He's always worn the Opmi avatar. He certainly drove like the former champion did today. So Pope wins here in the Principality. 2nd place goes to C110P Fan. 3rd to JB in the Ferrari. Celebrations beginning then. Lovely to see. 3 very good drivers and 3 very good cars. And they've come out on top today. And as far as I'm aware, in terms of points, TJ is confirmed to have the championship lead to his name. So that'll be it for the racing action, and we should hopefully see some post-race interviews now as well. I'll bear this just a moment here as we get the post-race interviews all set up. Hopefully we'll see some visitors for us tonight. No doubt Pope will want to see us in the comments box after that fantastic performance. So all 10 drivers who finished the race score points then. And a fantastic race. Hopefully we get someone to speak to here in a moment or two. And we'll see what we have to. Oh, we've got a few rivals here. And we'll see if we can get in our second place finisher Fan as well. Bear with us just a moment, guys. We'll get Fan. Hopefully, then we'll go to get started. You know, we'll jump in and we'll see if Fan joins later on. So we'll come now to our first our race winner for tonight, Pope. Well, congratulations, mate. And no doubt happy to be back in here. Honestly, I think you would have got more enjoyment from the evening if you'd been sitting in the commentary box the whole time. But you know, what do I know? Have to wait and see about that one. And then, of course, so in terms of the race tonight, I mean, things played into your hands quite nicely after the virtual safety car, and you've managed to lead the race from there. How was it as a race for you? Yeah, definitely, because you had Landlord chasing you for a good portion of that first stint. What was that like for you? Did you have any trouble with set balls over the course of the race, or? Yeah, I enjoyed it myself. I hope everyone down in the chat enjoyed it as well. And then last question for you, in terms of next week's race, going to Spain next time out, we're going to see you in here, we're going to see you on the track again. What do you reckon? Definitely. Well, congratulations on the win then. Perhaps we'll see you back in here next week, either as a podium finisher or as a commentator. And we'll come now to our third place finisher, JB. Mate, congratulations. First podium of the season. Yeah, definitely. I mean, over time, sort of work your way through the field. And of course, there was towards the end of the race, you and Lucky were close together. Did he choose to move over for you there towards the end, or what was thinking there? Fair enough. And of course, in terms of the safety car we had tonight, did that any change to your strategy in particular? Because I think you jumped onto a fresh set, didn't you? Fair enough. Yeah, it did sort of come in with that within the window towards the midway point of the race. And last question for you: we're looking in terms of next week's race, Spain. Looking forward to that one. You've just reminded me of the chicane as well. That's a very crucial thing I'm looking forward to next week. Now you've said it. And then one last question: are we going to allow Pope to do POV commentary box next week? Good to hear. I believe that I think Spain is the last race before September, so this could be the last one we see him racing for a little while. Ah, okay. Alright, we'll figure it out from where we are now. So that wrap up interviews then for you guys. So congratulations on the podium finishes. You guys can go and do whatever you do to celebrate a good race. I don't know what JB does. I probably not hope that's by this point. But yeah, you guys go enjoy the rest of the evenings. Thank you guys for turning up, and we'll see you next week. See you in a bit. So that'll more or less wrap things off for tonight's racing. I do hope you enjoyed all the action. I've been your host, Zach RC, and we'll be back with you next week for the Spanish Grand Prix, round number 8 of the Championship on the 28th of August. Same place, same time, same channel. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.